For Film Friday, we have a special guest to enlighten us on the 80th anniversary of the Beaumont race riot that has inspired some really important films. And he is a pretty cool dude. So I hope that you all will join me in welcoming Gordon S. Williams, Lamar University TV Operations Manager, instructor, and series creator of Beaumont's Black History in Moving Pictures. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Gordon.
Good
But
morning.
before we get to the subject at hand, I'm going to toot your horn a little bit because you are seriously awesome. You're an award-winning content creator whose projects have screened at over 70 film festivals. You have distribution deals with Amazon Video and Shorts International, and you've received a congressional commendation for the work we're about to discuss and for developing content creators and media professionals at Lamar University. I was so excited when I met you at that Impact event. How have we not met before?
It's been a long time since I've been in the Houston scene networking, so I'm working my way back into it. So I'm trying to go to as many events as possible and meet great people like you.
Well, I'm super excited. I'm going to drive up hopefully next week and see you get over at Lamar University, which will be super cool. It's been a while since I've been up in Beaumont, but I like it. June was the 80th anniversary of the 1943 Beaumont race riot. Not an anniversary that's like celebratory, but one that we should absolutely mark because it's very important and I don't think well known enough. It is what inspired the award-winning historical fiction short, The Example. So can you tell us about a panel discussion that you participated in on that and about the project in general?
So in 19, well, let me go back to the,
Yeah,
or
tell us about 19 the race riots first, because a lot of people haven't heard about it.
yes, so in 1943, Beaumont was a huge shipbuilding manufacturer for World War II. So that was bringing different ethnicities into the area for work that caused housing shortages. Food was being rationed. Blacks and whites were having to live and work in close proximity and actually compete for jobs at the shipyard. There were two events that happened, an alleged rape and another rape that happened in June of 1943, which created tension along with there being a planned Juneteenth celebration right around the same time that the KKK was planning a regional meeting. So,
Yeah, the KKK had a really large presence in the area at the time, right?
correct.
Yeah.
So, that last incident of the alleged assault, a suspect was arrested and taken to the police department. The It was a daughter of a shipyard worker. When the men at the shipyard found out about it, they crossed the bridge to come into downtown, and the police would not turn over the alleged assailants. So they were upset. A mob of 4,000 went into a black neighborhood close to downtown and destroyed homes and businesses. So Beaumont was on the martial law for 3 days. And I'm curious about the effect that that event had on this area and this city, and there's no real way to tell.
Right. I mean, the long-term, long-lasting effects on that community, living in fear, never feeling comfortable, that's that's got to have a long-term effect. And so that part of the ongoing projects that you're working on, or is that just the most recent?
Well, the example was actually created in 2016. We premiered it.
Mhm.
And Wyatt Cagle and Kenneth Dupuy, my fellow co-producers, uh, if you would have told us that 7 or 8 years after releasing this project, we would still be talking about it, we would have been shocked and amazed. So we've taken the example and paired it with another project that's about Beaumont titled They Will Talk About Us, the Charlton-Pollard Story, which is actually created by students and staff here in the Department of Communication and Media at Lamar University.
You know what? I'm really excited because I haven't seen that yet, but I know that isn't there some screenings coming up, or did I miss the last one?
No, we are going to screen on Sunday at the Gulf Coast Film Festival down in Clear Lake, and we have another
Mhm.
screening coming up in Lake Charles in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I knew there was some coming up. So talk to me about that. They will talk about us.
It is a story about the oldest Black neighborhood in Beaumont.
Hmm.
The community was built on education by former slaves, and it's about the origins of the community, how they thrived. They generated their own revenue that stayed within the community. There were artists that came through on the Chitlin circuit, like James Brown and Jimi Hendrix, the Shy Lights, and another number of other artists that came into the area. So many compared it to a mini version of Tulsa.
Yeah, which is famously known as Black Wall Street.
Correct.
Yes. Well, it's so interesting because we don't think about Beaumont as being quite the draw that it had been. Like we in Houston always think of it like our little brother. Oh, Beaumont.
Well, there's a lot of interesting stories here. And of course, Spindletop and oil is always mentioned when people hear Beaumont. But I think there's an opportunity for creative people to tell stories about this area in general. I think there's a gap between creatives and historians, and hopefully that gap can be bridged and more of these stories can be told.
Right, because you're working on Beaumont's Black history in moving pictures.
Yes, that's the two projects that we're taking to colleges and universities, doing lectures, and we're talking about everything from the history to media production. So it crosses several different disciplines.
That's so cool. And you have an event next week, right?
Yes, I'm actually going to Texas State University in San Marcos. We're going to be screening the example there on campus, and then they will talk about us at a community event later that Thursday night.
Well, that's so excited. So that's exciting. And I think it's great. And I love Texas State and what a great campus too. But really quickly as we wrap up, because like there's so many more things we could talk about. But what's next for you? What's in development right now?
Currently working on a documentary about salsa dancing. I host a salsa event here in Beaumont called Salsa at Cotton Creek Winery, and we were going strong for 11 and a half years until the pandemic. So for 2.5 years, this community did not have a place to connect. So we decided to document our first night back in November 2022. So we've done some interviews and shot some pretty dance stuff, and I'm working on the story now. So that is the next project.
Oh, I'm so excited. You're still doing Salsa Night then?
Yes, we're there once or twice a month. Actually, have a salsa event tonight in Beaumont at another venue. So we have a community here. It's a very diverse community from 18 to 78. We have people coming in to just enjoy life and connect.
So wait. Where can I find you salsa dancing in Beaumont? Because I'm terrible, but I do love it. How much fun is that?
If you go to Biomos Beaumont on Facebook, we have a group there that kind of tells people about all the events that we have going on in the area, plus where you can take lessons.
And will you have this ready for next year's Hispanic Heritage Month, perhaps?
That would definitely be the goal. We will be experiencing in November 2024 the 15th anniversary of Salsa at Cotton Creek Winery. So if things align, that would definitely be huge.
That'd be a terrific premiere for
Indeed.
Hispanic History Month. Nice.
Indeed.
Well, Gordon, I would love to have you back. You do so much stuff. I'm so excited. Thank you, Gordon Williams, Lamar University TV Operations Manager, Instructor, Series Creator of Beaumont's Black History and Moving Pictures. So much more. Award winner, salsa dancer, documentarian, filmmaker. He does it all. Gordon, so good to see you. And I'm super looking forward to coming out to see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, we're moving on. Can you believe that, Diana?
Let me tell you something. I think if people would have seen my face when I heard that he is a salsa dancer and they do this salsa scene in Beaumont, I promise you, everybody would have been like stunned, because I am a big time salsa dancer. And there's my phone ringing.
And my one regret is I didn't ask him if he was single. I'll find out. I got all you girls in mind. I know.